I actually have a very interesting story to share of $1 million bet that Warren Buffett had made. Hi guys, it's me Vedant, and in this video we're going to discuss why it is so difficult to beat the market or the index on a consistent basis. In this video we're going to use market and index synonymously, so please don't get confused. In case you are unclear about these words and these terms, make sure you go and check out the first video, the link to which is in the description box. While we're in the context of beating the market, the term consistent becomes very important. By consistent, we're talking about larger spans of time, example 7 to 10 years. Before we discuss why experts and active fund managers also find it difficult to beat the market, let's briefly recall what the market or index represents. Let us take the example of Nifty. Nifty is the index of the National Stock Exchange or NSE. It comprises of the top 50 companies listed in the NSE spanning across 13 sectors. And this list is revised every 6 months to ensure that the list comprises of the 50 largest companies, which changes with time. Investing in Nifty does not require any consistent analysis of these companies and their news. What has to be done with the money is very simple and straightforward. Whatever money is invested through mutual funds and other instruments is simply taken and distributed among these 50 companies. It's a pretty dumb and boring process, and the strategy doesn't really change with time. That being said, it does seem intuitive that if we have one expert who's analyzing the trends and already keeping track of news and analysis of all companies, he should be able to probably time the market, buy it low, sell high, choose companies that are outside the index as well, and overall generate a better return than the market. Hence, we do have actively managed funds that are run by fund managers or experts who try to find new investments, keep a track of all the news and analysis of companies, and also look at companies that are outside the index to find better opportunities. Despite all of these highly paid experts, fund managers, in spite of having many analysts working for them, end up failing to beat the market on a consistent basis. We are emphasizing on the term consistent because there could be a particular year or two where a particular industry in which the fund was focused in does well, while the overall market doesn't perform as well. But all these effects are cancelled out in the long run, and that is why we need to consider a longer span. It is extremely counterintuitive but true that extremely few fund managers manage to beat the market on a consistent basis over large spans of time. This is a phenomenon that's not just observed in India but in US and many other countries as well. Now let's discuss the actual reasons why such a skilled individual like the fund manager also finds it difficult to beat the market in spite of having so much data, market analysis, and a team of analysts working for him. High fees. Actively managed funds often charge very high fees. This is because the fund manager himself is highly paid. He also has to pay a team of analysts that work for him, and the fund also requires advertising. So therefore all of these costs combined often eat into the profits. And therefore even if the fund is well run, it often fails to beat the market. It is worth keeping in mind that these charges are incurred whether or not the fund makes a profit or not. Growing competition. Today, the competition between active fund managers is very high, and the information about the companies is also extremely free and accessible to everyone. Therefore, the markets often react very quickly to news and other information that come out about a company. This way, it has become very difficult to find true gaps in valuation for fund managers, thus decreasing the opportunities that can be taken advantage of. Large corpus. When a fund manager is dealing with large sums of money, the strategy of making small risky investments becomes extremely impractical. The fund often becomes large enough to buy multiple whole companies. Therefore, managing large sums of money becomes much harder. I actually have a very interesting story to share of $1 million bet that Warren Buffett had made. He had made a bet that over a 10-year span, the unmanaged S&P index, which is the index of the US stock market, would actually beat any hedge fund. This was a bet he had made with Protege Partners, and the winnings of this money from either side would have gone to charity. Let me share a clip of Buffett explaining the bet.
Seems appropriate, since it's developed this far, to point out a a rather obvious lesson, which was what I hoped to drive home to some degree by offering to make the wager originally. Incidentally, when I offered to make the wager, namely that somebody could pick out 5 hedge funds and I would take the unmanaged S&P index used by Vanguard Fund, and I would bet that over a 10-year period that the unmanaged index would beat these 5 funds that were all being managed, presumably. They could pick any 5 funds that were managed by people who were charging incredible sums to people because of their supposed expertise. And fortunately, there's an organization called, or at least if you go to the internet, if you put in longbets.org, it's a terribly interesting website. People take the opposite side of various propositions that have a long tail to them. And you can find bets about, what population will be doing 15 years from now, or all kinds of things. And our bet became quite famous on there. A fellow I like, who I didn't know before this, Ted Seides, bet that he could pick out 5 hedge funds. These were funds of funds. In other words, there was one hedge fund at the top, and then that manager picked out who he thought were the best managers underneath, and then bought into these other funds in turn. So that the 5 funds of funds represent maybe 100 or 200 hedge funds underneath. So the result is, after 8 years and several hundred hedge fund managers being involved, is that now the totally unmanaged fund by Vanguard with very, very, very minimal costs is now 40-some points ahead of the group of hedge funds. Now, that may sound like a terrible result for the hedge funds, but it's not a terrible result for the hedge fund managers.
In case you haven't already opened a Demat account, consider using the link in the description box below to open your Demat account with Grow. It's the broker I use and I've already reviewed it on the channel. Okay guys, that's it for this video. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already.